We are still in this series, Children of Light and Life, following the glorious miracle of the resurrection. We have not forgotten the resurrection just a few weeks ago. How quickly we forget. Children of light and life. What does that mean? Well, we talked about how in the beginning, and you've heard that same verse read every week, in the beginning, there was nothing, void, empty, dark. And God spoke into existence first light, and He separated light from darkness. And He ended the chaos with the light. That's where we started. Good place to start. In the beginning, and then we remembered the words of Jesus when He named us the light of the world. We remember the words of John the Beloved and John the Baptist, who referred to Jesus as the light that broke into the darkness of the world. And it's such a light that no one and nothing can ever extinguish it. Are you with me? This is just a recap. This is not a light that can be dimmed. This is not a light that can be blown out. We've lost electricity before. We've lost power. Do you have candles ready for the next thunderstorm? Who lost power this week? Anybody? Ours flickered. We have candles ready because we need light. Jesus is the light that will never be extinguished, and those who walk in Him walk also in the light. There's no darkness in Him at all. And yet we confess to God and to one another that sometimes you and I are stumbling around in the dark. We can fake it, we can put on a good show, and people don't know we're in the dark until it becomes obvious, and that gets to a point where it's really sad. We've talked about a world in chaos, a world struggling, a world in trouble, a world who needs, more than ever, for somebody to turn the light on. You with me? Okay, so my starting question today is this. I'm so glad the children didn't name when I asked, anybody stressed out? Mommy, I'm so glad they didn't do that. What stresses you out? That's the starting question today. What stresses you out? What most unhinges you, worries you, troubles you, knocks you off track? Maybe it's something really little, and habitually that thing, it's little and you know it, and you talk yourself through it, and you feel irrational, but there you are again. Or maybe it's something really, really big. Maybe it's something so big that you haven't even told anybody why you're so stressed out and troubled and worried and unhinged. God has a lot to say about that. Matthew chapter 11. Matthew chapter 11. More red letters here. Means Jesus spoke it. Listen up. Then Jesus said, verse 28, "Come to me, all of you who are weary, all of you who are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you in it. Because I'm humble, and I am gentle at heart. And you," listen, this is imperative, "you will find rest for your very soul. My yoke is easy to bear, and my burden is light." You've heard this. Maybe this is the first time you've heard it. If this is the first time you've welcome to these powerful words from Jesus Himself, recorded so long ago. Thank you, Matthew, for recording these words. Come to me, everybody who's weary. Does that ring anybody's bell? Anybody who carries heavy burdens, ring anybody's bell, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and let me teach you. I don't know about you, but often when I'm really burdened and heavy laden and stressed out, I don't pause and go, "Oh God, I know you're in this with me. Will you teach me what I need to learn?" How often do you do that? How often do we say, "Oh God, thank you for this stress, Thank you for this state I'm in because it brings me to my knees and I'm asking you for help. Please teach me. Now maybe you've done that. Praise God. That's a sign of spiritual maturity if we do that. I think most often we just say, I'm stressed. Who can help me? God, do you understand? We tell ourselves, well, God has never been stressed, and we forget the incarnation, we forget Bethlehem, we forget Calvary. So, knowing what you know so far, disciples, did Jesus ever experience any stress? Come on. The answer is yes. Gosh, I want to say yes, but I'm afraid it'll be no. I don't quiz you ever. I'm never trying to trick you. Yes, Jesus knew stress. He knew stress beyond what you and I have known. Every burden, every temptation, every human worry and temptation to give in, submit to stress. Jesus has been there. I'm going to trip over these dumbbells yet. And then everybody's going to be stressed. There we go, they're out of the way. Jesus understands, folks. Jesus understands. An accompanying question to the one I started with, what stresses you out, is this question. What do you do when you are stressed out? Where do you go? To whom do you go? Are you with me? We have routines, we have habits. Sometimes we go to the right place, sometimes we go to the wrong place, sometimes we go to the right people, sometimes we go to the wrong people. What do you do when you're unhinged or about to be unhinged? Sometimes we medicate with things, with people, with substances, with repetitive thoughts. Sometimes we medicate by just retreating and disappearing. That's different from the rest that Jesus is talking about here. What do you do? Where do you go? Jesus says, come to me. Jesus says, come to me. Folks, this is not really written in command form. This is written in invitation form. There's a difference. Isn't there? There's a difference. Jesus is not saying, get over here. I did that like I've done that before. Merely acting. Jesus doesn't say in an exasperated voice, oh my word, stressed, get over here. Get over here. Watch how we talk to people. This is invitation. Jesus said, if you're weary, you're tired, you're stressed out, you're burdened, come to me. There's picture open arm invitation. Come to me, and I'll give you rest. He knows exactly what you need, and exactly when you need it, and he has exactly what you need. This is not a passive state of rest, folks. We need to understand what the language is saying here. This is not a nap. Does a nap sound good? Come on, does a nap sound good? Yeah. The person right about there sleeping. Does a nap sound good? No, nobody's asleep. I was kidding. It has happened, yes. This is not a nap. This is not some passive periodic coma state. This is not an easy button. God, would you just give me an easy button for a minute and make everything else disappear? It's not an easy button. This is an anapausine. This is an anapausine. This is a retreat in the Greek. This is an interlude. This is a break. A temporary cessation of everything that's worrying you and stressing you and coming at you like a bunch of wolves. This is a temporary break from all that. And it's a clean break. It's a protective, safe break where nothing can get in. Does that sound good to anybody? And it's only protective and safe because of the one who's offering it. It's Jesus. He's the safest place we can be. But we have to participate. We have to cooperate. There's the rub, disciples. It's an invitation. And we answer the invitation, we come, and then we lay everything else aside, and we trust Him. We trust His love, His understanding, His authority. It's an intermission. It's a refreshment. Does anybody need any of that today? Come on, does anybody need a refreshment? A short break? Sort of a mini vacation? Years ago, and again, you know I'm a movie freak, a movie buff, and I love going to old historic theaters like the Byrd Theater in Richmond. Love it, love it, love it. And they'll play these old films. And often the old films, particularly if they were long films, they would have a pause in the middle of the film. They would call it, not usually an intermission, but they'd make it fancy, intermezzo, which is a musical, you know what I'm talking about, a musical term to separate acts in a play, to separate movements in a orchestration. So we have this idea that we're finished with this half of the movie, there's an intermezzo, and there's music playing, and it's beautiful, and this is the time when we do what? Yeah, go to the bathroom, get popcorn, take care of our needs, stretch, find out who it is behind me who's been talking the whole time, pray for them, the love of Jesus. Intermezzo, we take a break. We don't leave the theater, now listen, we don't leave the theater, we don't say, I am done. Now, I've left the theater. If you left the theater when the movie's awful, yeah, you remember. We took the boys to the Byrd, that was at the Byrd Theater. We were watching a movie we thought was going to be just fine for them, and it was not just fine for them. We got up and left, and the boys were like, Dad, come on, this is so embarrassing. Do we have to leave? Yes, we have to leave. That's not what I'm talking about. The intermezzo is a break, and I'm coming back after I get my needs met. Are you with me? I'm coming back after I get my needs met, and when I come back, I'm going to be refreshed. I will have used the bathroom. I'll have popcorn, I'll have drink. Let's confess, and everybody at home, you can confess with us too. If you're watching on YouTube, who smuggles in drinks and snacks to the theater? No, I know you do, sweetheart. Okay, this, feels good just to be cleansed and confess all that. It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. Oh, folks, an intermezzo, it sounds good to me. Right now, Jesus' audience had largely been trapped into the yoke of slavery that religion offered at the time. You with me? We've talked about this. We've talked about Judaism. We've talked about what it had become at this point. We've talked about Phariseeism, the legalism, the 633 laws, and the constant burden of trying to live up and measure up to the law, and the only righteous ones were the ones teaching the law, and they couldn't relate from their ivory towers because they were supposedly, already there, arrived. Guess what? They had not, and Jesus called them out and called them whitewashed tombstones. You're pretty on the outside, gleaming white in your self-righteousness, but on the inside you're rotting. Ouch. This is what the audience was trapped in. And so these words, when Jesus gets down to take my yoke upon you, because my yoke is easy and the burden I give you is light, they understood what that was talking about. Now we have some agriculturalists in the room. We have some animal experts. So a yoke, picture a yoke. A yoke was used to couple two things together to get something done, right? So picture a beast of burden like oxen or mule or something yoked to a wagon, to a plow. Are you with me? You know what this looks like. And so two things are coupled. There's a yoke, it's a burden, but we're going to get something done. Okay. Now picture this. What Jesus is saying is, I offer you a yoke, not just a yoke. What did he say? My yoke. My yoke is easier than that. My burden is light. So what I want you to picture is Jesus coming along beside you. And in this yoke, there's a place for 2 heads and 2 sets of shoulders. You with me? He says, my yoke, come on, my yoke. I'm going to help you. We're going to do this work together. We're going to share this burden. We're going to share the weight. And I'm never going to put on you more than you can pick up with my help. How's that sound? My yoke's easy. My burden's light. Let me share that work with you, and we will get something done. Kevin read, apart from me, you can do nothing. But abiding in me, living in me, sticking to me, remaining in me, oh my, the kingdom fruit you can produce. I'm going to talk to the board today about the difference between consumerist church, where consumerism has just taken hold of the church, and it's take, and it's feed, and get, versus a church that takes what they need, they push away from the table, and they get busy out in the world producing. You with me? We are not called to be consumers, folks. We're called to be producers. Jesus said it 2,000 years ago. Abide in me, stick to me, follow me. Jesus did not say attend me like we attend church. Jesus said connect to me, stick to me, remain in me, follow me. I'll make you fishers of people, and we will be so productive in this world. I will give you rest for your very soul. The word there in Greek is suke. It's a really pretty word, suke. And it's where the head and the heart connect. And man, when our head and heart agree, that's a beautiful thing. Have you ever been in a battle between your head and your heart? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You flip a coin, which is going to win, or someone tells you, go with your heart. No, always go with your head. Oh, what do I do? This is when your head and your heart match up. They agree. They're one. And then it reaches your very soul. And that word suke is describing the very being of you, the very life breath of you. It's going back to Genesis when God breathed mouth to mouth life into that first human. It's very personal. It's very intimate. It's what makes you a human made in the image of God. Rest for your very soul. Sometimes we get a temporary and a shallow rest, right? But it doesn't seep down into our very, very soul. Many people have already taken a vacation, or the first of several vacations that they're going to take this summer. That's beautiful. Our vacation is coming up at the end of June. The words in both the Hebrew and Greek for rest are connected to our word for vacation. If you think about a vacation, what is it? It's a temporary cessation of work. It's a break. It's an intermezzo where you get your needs met. It's a refreshment where you recharge. That's what vacation is supposed to be. If you come back from your vacation, you say, I am exhausted. It wasn't a vacation. You with me? Have you ever done that? Boy, I have too. I just got back from vacation and need a vacation because I'm so tired. When Diana and I go to the beach, God willing, in just a few weeks, there's going to be an intermezzo. I'm going to sing. No. She's getting so excited. I wish you could see her face. We're going to break. And we're going to plop our behinds on the sand. And we're just going to be there. You know, we're going to look at the ocean. And are you with me? And now we're just, that's what I hope we're going to do. Okay, so we can't always go to the beach. We can't always go on vacation. This is a travel with a bunch of people. But what can we do? Here's my recommendation to you this very week. Take these words of Jesus and come to me. It's an invitation. I'll give you rest for your very soul. Take my yoke upon you. Let me help you with that. That's what you. Let me help you with that. Stop trying to do that by yourself. Stop turning it over to him. Stop turning it over to her. Stop taking that pill that right there, and stop drinking that, and stop watching that, and unplug your phone, unplug your devices. I've talked to you about a 60-second pause where you just breathe in and out for 60 seconds and you thank God for everything you can think of in 60 seconds to thank Him for. How about a 5-minute vacation? 5-minute vacation. Try to do this alone so people don't think you're having trouble with call 911. Gail just blanked out. That was called. Gail just blanked out. She's saying nothing, doing nothing. She's just staring. Then Gail says, I was taking my 5-minute vacation. Okay, try to do this alone. Remove all things that would get in the way and interrupt you. Including people. Tell your family, tell your friends, I'm about to take a 5-minute vacation. It's just me, God, and me. He has just said, come to me for rest, and I'm going. And when I come back to you in just a minute, I might not have popcorn and a Coke, but I'm going to be refreshed. I'm going to be better than I was 5 minutes ago. We can do this, folks. And then 5 minutes becomes 6, and 6 minutes becomes 7. And this is not us saying, I'm not coming back. This is not quitting. So many people are quitting. People are quitting the church. People are quitting the faith. People are quitting relationships. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm out. That's not what this is. You ever feel like you quit something too soon? I've done that. I've quit something too soon. And then I've also done the very opposite. I've stayed too long. Anybody ever stayed somewhere too long? Lord have mercy. There is a time when God's going to say, okay, not this, but that. Let's move on. But day to day, you and I need to take these 5-minute vacations. Come to me, and I'll give you rest now. This word. Some people feel guilty because they've always got to be doing. You're right, do. I got to be busy. We brag about being busy. We compare notes about who's the busiest, who got the least amount of sleep, like it's bragging rights. Give yourself permission to take a break, a rest, a refreshment, without guilt, without explanation to anybody. This is you and God. Are you with me? Just give yourself permission. Now, if you get pushback from somebody, just love them and pray for them. Don't bow to them. Your 5-minute vacation is not convenient for me right now. Just say, well, I'm sorry. I love you in Jesus. And right now I'm asking Him to love you for me. And I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Folks, we need to do this. There's somebody in the room who needs to do this. There may be more than one somebody in here who needs this kind of rest that only Jesus can provide. And to turn away from something else that's been a cheap substitute for rest. Goodness gracious, just this week I got 3 separate texts from people who basically said, Todd, I'm struggling, I'm drowning, I'm sinking, I need help. That was hard for them to do that. And so I said, well, you and I are going to get together right now, we're going to pray. And we're going to go to the one first, to the one who can do more than anybody else, right? If someone comes to you, point them first to Jesus. Say, I'm with you in this, and I love you, but let's go to Jesus right now, and then I'm going to do anything I can to help you. Does that make sense? As we come to the table now, hear Jesus saying to you again, come to me. Do this in remembrance of me. He said, but add to that today, come to me. Come to the table. I'm going to give you what you need. I'm going to give you myself, my whole self. The bread is the body. I'm going to give you what the world cannot give you. I'm going to give you salvation, the forgiveness of sin, a fresh start, a new beginning. That's what this table's about. You talk about refreshment. He always does his part when we do our part today. Pray with me. God help us. Oh, God help us. Help us to be honest with you and ourselves and even each other today that we need a rest, that we need a break, we need an intermission, we need refreshment, we need healing, we need forgiveness, we need hope. We need a new plan, a new day, a new life, a fresh beginning. God, you offer all of that here at the table. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for enduring stress that we cannot imagine, trouble that we will never have to face. Oh, God, what you've done for us. As we take the bread and cup today, Lord, let it not be religious routine, but let it be a memory, even a vision of your life, a vision of your love, a vision of the cross, a vision of the new beginning of the empty tomb, the dawn, the light that breaks in our lives. God, please, let there be salvation in your house today. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Our communion hymn is